Michael,
Yes, Wesam.
how you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. We have an exciting episode today because my brother is coming on. William Keesh. He's a musician, artist, all around. Great guy. Before we start with that, we got a few housekeeping things to take care of. Adobe Sessions. They're basically like these live performances that Adobe does, and they're freaking amazing. They do them here in the studio, and I highly recommend people check them out. You can check them out on the Adobe website and listen to them, and the Adobe YouTube page as well. Some really, really cool stuff. As it is, we got Bayside in there as well. They do acoustic sessions, almost like remember MTV Unplugged?
Yes.
Kind of like that, but a cooler version of that.
Way cooler.
Better lighting. And then real quick to the listeners, I just want to say thank you so much for listening to the show. We're going strong with our numbers. We've been staying consistent. I love it. And a friendly reminder that the show doesn't end here at Adobe Radio. You can download the full episode on iTunes podcasts, or you can listen on Spotify as well for you Android users. Or if you want to watch us, you can check out the YouTube channel and watch us do the podcast. And thank you again for watching the show and all your support. And if you're listening, it really helps us if you subscribe on iTunes or you subscribe on Spotify. And if you leave a small review, it takes like literally a minute. It goes a long way and helps us out to continue giving you awesome programming and awesome people to share with their wisdom, their comedy, and their love. It's love.
It's love.
Michael, it's love. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for our guest today. He's my brother from the same mother, William Keesh. William,
Evan,
does the music sound familiar?
a little bit.
A little bit. Thank you so much for the wonderful piece of music. You and
Thanks for using it, man. I'm glad it was put to good use.
when did you and Riley make it? Right, Riley?
Yeah, we made that about almost 2 years ago now, and when we made it, it was just one of those things where we were just making it. We didn't think of what it would be good for, or what would come out of it until we finished it, and it was like this little piece that was a little different than what we usually do, but it still kind of fit a certain mold, if you will. And then we started brainstorming cool music video ideas that would fit to that. And then it just kind of, sat for a while.
Yeah.
And then whenever this came up, just going through old stuff, and it sounded like it would work. So
You have a lot of music like that, right? Stuff you've
Yeah.
worked on or projects in the works, and then you'll just kind of work a little bit on it, then go to something else.
yeah,
That's an interesting way to work.
it's a frustrating way to work sometimes because, you feel like you have ADD. You just want to, you get bored. I was telling my friend the other day, actually, whenever you're working on something.
You might want to just keep it like,
Keep it
yeah,
close. I was telling him, whenever you're working on something, you come up with whatever it may be, like guitar lick or lyrics or chord progression, and you're like super in love with it, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so good. And you start working on it and working on it and working on it. More time goes by, and you just keep listening to it over and over, which is why you need to take a break from listening to the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, okay, I'll set that down, and then you'll be doodling on something else, and then something else will come up and be like, oh, I really like this. I like that one, but I really like this one.
Oh.
So it's a frustrating way of working, and that's why you kind of have to be focused in on finishing something that you start if you really like it or if you think it's going to go somewhere.
That's so tough.
So, and if you do finish it, like in my case, and this isn't for every artist obviously, but a lot of times when I finish something,
Mm-hmm.
I don't have anything to use it for. I'll give it to one of my friends, or be like, hey, see if you can use this. I can't use it.
Right.
I don't know what to use it for.
Very interesting. I couldn't work like that.
It's sort of carefree, but not really. It's a good way of letting go of things for me. Like moving on to the next thing.
Yeah, I can't. I like having an iron grip on everything. You know what I mean?
No.
We live together, so.
Oh, yeah. You have weird iron grips literally everywhere around the house.
We've lived together now for 2 years. That's a very. You know what? Growing up with you, I would have never expected that.
Really?
Yeah, because you're so white.
Honestly, I did expect it just because of how close knit we are. You know.
Yeah, but like I missed out on a lot of hanging out time with you guys, especially like when I was in college. There's
Yeah.
a 7-year difference between us, and then when I went out to LA, it had been like 7 years I'd been in LA.
Yeah. Yeah. That gap was a little weird for both of us, I feel like, because you were in college doing your thing, you know, and I was an adolescent, like, how old was I? 14? 13, 12,
Yeah.
around there. You know what I mean? So I didn't know anything.
Yeah,
I still don't know anything, but I didn't know even more, nothing.
you know a little more right
I
now.
know a little more.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool. I like living with you, man.
Me too.
honestly.
It's a lot of fun. It keeps me on track with a
Yeah.
lot of things. We laugh a lot. I don't know how many of the jokes we can say on air that we do.
Not a lot.
Probably not. Michael Michael just took a deep breath.
Yeah.
Will I see Caswick in this podcast?
He might make an appearance. I'm torn. Hey, Tom. I'm torn between, you know, some of the characters that I do. We're a weird family, you know
We're
what
so
I mean?
weird. And it's a very unique sense of humor that we have.
Yeah.
Only a few people get it, but when somebody gets our humor, I get excited
Yeah.
because I'm like
right?
yes, you understand.
Yeah. It makes you not feel as weird, but you're still weird. But it started with Daniel, honestly. He's just
Daniel, who?
our brother.
The youngest Daniel. Yeah, just for the listeners,
Of
you know.
course.
Yeah, Daniel Keesh.
And because we're so close in age, we're a year apart, he would always do stuff, you know, to annoy me and make up characters while he's doing it just because he's weird. And so in retaliation to his characters, I
Yeah.
started coming up with characters to defend and then eventually attack him every now and then just out of boredom.
Yeah.
And that's how we grew up. And then the characters evolved and got backstories, and some of them are pretty crazy. Some of them make no sense whatsoever.
Dude, his Instagram profile is probably one of the best things to follow, and his Snapchat, because it's a certain if somebody doesn't know he's joking, they're like, "Oh, dude, this guy's like,
Yeah.
this guy's special."
You either get it or you don't.
Yeah, he does the milady thing with his. He brings the fedora out, and he has like these certain characters he does.
One of my favorite things he did was he posted 3 or 4 like selfies, and it's just a bad selfie picture, you know. But it's the same one, just with different filters, and he posted them in a row to be different posts. Like,
I like the one he posted yesterday where he's like, "I'm back to school, ladies," and he's like winking at the camera, and he's not in school anymore.
Yeah.
Like that's the best part of it.
his edits, whenever he sees, because sometimes you see people on social media with some sort of editing thing that looks weird and like from the 90s and like doesn't make sense, you know.
Yeah.
And so he told me he'll go out of his way to message those people and be like, "Hey, what apps do you use?"
Oh no, he doesn't.
So that he can go and just basically make his Instagram one big troll.
Are you serious? He'll ask them what apps they use.
Yeah. He showed me screenshots of direct messages from people that. Yeah.
Dude, he's gotten me to watch some of the best like Instagram accounts, like the Joker, what is it? Joker. Later, Tom. The Joker gang.
Oh my gosh.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
He's the one that showed you that?
I think so. Yeah. No. I saw Joker gang from World Star. I follow another account called the Joker LA. I don't know. Have you
Yes.
heard of him?
Yeah,
He's the one who showed me that, and I've actually seen him a few times.
Yeah.
Good characters.
He does stand up. apparently.
Yeah. Kind of. It's a little frightening.
Yeah. I mean,
It's open mic stuff. Have you ever been to one of those?
no, I want to though.
It's a great place to
Yeah.
people watch. Dude, you've got to have some balls to do just an
Oh,
open
of
mic.
course.
And if you're in the beginning process of wanting to be a stand-up comedian, that's got to be one of the most petrifying things in the world to do.
Yeah. I mean, and the psychology behind doing something like that, like the Joker thing, is very interesting because like it's way out there. Especially the guy who tattooed his face
Have you seen this, Michael?
as the
No.
Joker.
Okay, Joker Gang. I'm just double checking. I think it's called Joker Gang, right, Wayne?
I honestly I don't know.
I
I know
started
you
following.
sent me.
I actually
something
I screenshotted you guys the screenshot I sent.
Oh yeah.
Did you see what I wrote on there? Seatbelt? Question mark.
I believe you joined that. Yeah, he
The live stream he did.
he
Oh,
literally
it's called
tattooed-
Joker Gang
Yeah.
Gang. Joker Gang Gang.
Yeah,
And he's
yeah, he got it.
tattooed his face. Do you see it?
I see it.
Oh my
Dude.
gosh.
Dude, I don't know. He's doing like nice things now since he's got popular because somebody on World Star
Yeah.
put his account up. And so he got a bunch of followers and he started making a bunch of money. And then he basically starts doing these like nice things like buying homeless people pizza, giving out money, which is cool. I think that part's cool. I don't know why you would videotape it, but that's cool. Maybe get more views. Hopefully help more people, I guess. I'm not sure. But I don't know him, but to tattoo your face like that, what must you go through to think like that's what I'm going to
I'll
do?
tell you. Bucket.
What?
What? he doesn't care. He doesn't give like one care to just like you can't care what other people think at that point at all.
No.
And
No.
that's the sort of a right way of thinking.
Yeah, it is kind of, but I'm not a fan of face tattoos.
Yeah.
I mean, do what you want with your life, but that's so
You got to work your way up to that.
permanent.
You got to run out of room, which is hard to do. First of all, everywhere else in your body, and then be like, you know what? I really want this thing, but there's no more. I'm just gonna do it on my face. Start from the side, and then work your way in the middle.
Dude.
Eventually, encapsulate your whole entire.
I hate
face.
Post Malone's new tattoo. The one's so tired.
Yeah,
Always tired. Excuse me. Always tired underneath his eyes. What? Hey, man, come on.
You know, he's doing him. I'm not.
I guess.
I wouldn't do it, but
I'm allowed to have an opinion, though. I
Of
think
course.
about it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
I mean, he's doing him. He's successful. Best of luck to him. But I just think that kind of stuff is kind of silly.
yeah, it is a little silly.
I mean,
Is
I-
it a fad? Is it a like the whole face tattoo thing? Is it gonna go away? Are people just gonna get more into it? Is it just gonna get crazy and crazier?
I haven't been something. There's only a handful of things I think I'm so certain of, and even those things I don't necessarily want tattooed on my body for various reasons. But like, you have to be so certain to want it tattooed because it's so permanent. I don't know, man. I know you can get it removed, or it's like, hey, that's just a part of my journey or whatever. When I was that young, but like, I don't know. It's just so permanent to go through all that trouble.
Some of them are cool.
They are cool. Some of them, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't. Not for me. Not
I've
for me.
always like, honestly, I've always kind of thought of myself like it would be cool to be just fully like. to here.
Please don't.
I don't know why. It's just
Everybody's
cool.
listening to this. Going, we seem so anti-tattoo.
But,
Hey,
like,
people can do it in your life, but that would. I don't know.
I like tattoos. Honestly, I really do. But this whole like SoundCloud rapper face tattoo kind of phase that we're going through it just seems silly, like you said.
Treyway. Tekashi 6ix9ine. You know who that is? He's the rainbow colored dude.
You're missing out, man. This
Very
is it.
low
Yeah.
curve.
these
Hey,
are-
man. Stop working so hard
Yeah.
to make your dreams come true.
Pay attention to things that don't matter. Okay.
Treyway. Hey, what are you saying, sir? What is
I don't know.
Treyway?
My favorite is his hair because, like, someone has to do it for him. It's not like he did it himself. And
What if he does?
if he does do it himself, that's even better. But like, he walks into the place and he's already got tattoos, you know, and he says to the guy, "Yo, give me all these colors." And he looks at him like, "What?"
Give me all the colors.
All the colors. Are you sure, man? Just do one. Like, one's crazy. Don't worry. You don't want to do all of it. It's gonna be like a rainbow. Exactly.
Rainbow. I loved it when he made the realization that 6ix9ine, he had 6 letters in his first name and 9 letters in his last name.
He realized that after he named himself. Dude, that's perfect. That's his destiny. That's his destiny, dude.
I was like, can we move the screen, please? Thank you. Come on, man. Get the fuck out of here with that. That is, you look ridiculous.
And the title of that particular article is "Sentencing in Rapper 6ix9ine's Child Sex Case Delayed Because He Failed His GED." Like, what?
I'm
What
sorry.
are we doing here, guys?
You couldn't be more of a loser with that headline.
What are we doing here?
I know what I'm saying is so negative, but come on. That is the most
Well,
ridiculous. That right there is
Yes.
the most ridiculous thing I've seen in a while.
You start with child sex case. And then to put the cherry on top, he failed his GED, by the way.
Okay, let's see what he looks like. I'm sure this guy looks like a weird. He looks like if Candyland was dropped in like a chemical spill.
Yeah, yeah. And have you seen him describing actually his name, why he chose 6ix9ine?
Yes.
It's very interesting. I like
It's somewhat deep, but I'm like, I know why you did it. Oral sex.
Did you really? Because the perspective thing is the same, or 69?
Couldn't have done that with a zero, with an oval.
I'm surprised he even came up, honestly.
We're gonna be talking about this for the next hour.
Okay, now tell me, what is the deal with the Casio watch thing?
Oh yeah, so it was so funny. So William and I, Michael,
Yes.
listeners, we have different styles. And so far on the podcast, I think we've been nice to each other.
Yeah.
We've been pretty cordial. And I think we're pretty nice to each other for the most part. But we do get kind of
We shit on each other.
oh, yeah, and in a
Literally?
fun way.
Oh, fun.
Hey man. Literally it's not. We don't do that literally. But we bust each other's balls constantly. And I make fun of you for a wide variety of things.
Yeah.
Your love of jackets.
Yeah, I love jackets.
And the way you twirl in them bothers me, but that's fine. Live your life.
Hey, if I want to spin, don't say twirl. If I want to spin, see how it moves.
I'm
If
sorry.
it's supposed to move, some jackets aren't supposed to move that much, you know? And this is a little insecure thing about me. I think the reason why I like jackets so much, no, this is a fine thing. I'm going to be open and honest about it, is because I've always been particularly thin and skinny.
Mm-hmm.
And so I felt self-conscious about that.
Yeah.
And wanted to layer up so I don't look as skinny. And so I always found like layers and
Okay.
playing around with,
Yeah.
Like, I like fashion, but I'm not too deep into it to be like. See, this is another thing, by the way, guys, that he's just gonna take back and poke at.
I appreciate you opening up
Yeah.
because I know you said you were a little nervous about coming on the show. It was your first
Yeah.
time doing a podcast and just talking out loud about things. And you're a pretty reserved person. You know, you don't like to talk about your feelings. So I really appreciate you coming on. But I wouldn't be doing my job as your older brother,
True.
as a person who loves and cares about you,
Sir.
if I didn't poke fun at you just a little bit.
Yeah, I definitely get where you're, because Daniel, my little.
Oh
brother.
yeah, and we make fun of, and you make fun of me.
Yeah.
We make fun of Daniel.
We
Daniel
gang
makes
up
fun of this.
at each other.
We make fun of everyone.
Yeah.
Which I love.
And that's what comedy is. It's either all a go or none of it's a go.
I'm on the board of all of it's a go.
Yeah.
I've had some people who've disagreed. Were
Well-
you here? Oh yeah, last week. We had a guest that disagreed, and it was interesting seeing her perspective on things.
Yeah.
But I'm on the kind of boat of if you don't like something, just change the channel. Don't follow it. There is, I guess there is one exception with comedy, but it's like a lot of comedy. Most 99.9% of comedy doesn't do this, where it's like, go kill that person.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's-
Inciting violence.
Yeah. I don't
Well,
think.
Comedy is a risk in itself. You know what I mean? If you're gonna say something controversial or joke about a topic that's very sensitive, you're taking the risk of not being funny and
Yeah.
totally bombing, which is a big risk and it's a big fall. However, if it's funny, it's funny.
I never bomb. I'm kidding. The majority of time, if I make a
It's
joke
in our
with a new
blood
group,
to bomb. See, that's funny because
that's not cool, man.
Racially, it's a
I don't like that joke. I don't like you. Mom and Dad are probably listening to this.
that's okay.
They're upset right
They
now.
probably made jokes similar.
No, man, they didn't.
Sorry.
You messed
Sorry,
up our
Mom.
show. Michael's not even laughing right now. He just smiled because I mentioned his name. The energy has been sucked out of this room. You, sir, are
I'm an
done in
abomination.
this business.
Oh yeah, I'm done in the business. Not an opponent.
Going back to Oklahoma.
Oh.
No, the Casio watch. That's what we were talking about. So I'm on set of For the People, and they bring out the prop. One of the prop guys comes out and brings out, hey, which watch would you like to wear? And he brings out your exact same watch.
Oh really?
And I literally go, not that one. I just met this guy. He's like, oh, okay, yeah, we don't have to wear that one. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I hate that watch because my brother has it.
Oh, I never knew that. You hate it because I have it. Would you hate it if I didn't have it?
Excuse me. I don't like it at all. I don't like the way it
You
looks.
don't like the way it looks.
Nope.
Even this one.
It looks good on you. It doesn't look good on me.
Why? I think it would look good on you.
No, no, no. You know what? I don't really hate it. It's just one of those things that I'm like.
It's cheap. It's
It looks like it's from the 80s. What do you like about your watch? Because I don't know. Not a fan of it, man.
I never wore watches actually, until 2 years ago. I never liked wearing anything on my wrist
Okay.
or any jewelry.
All right.
And then for the job that I was working at, I was managing the restaurant, and I always needed to know the time. I really did. Like it was a time-based like job. Like I need to take care of this in 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever, you know.
That was the best watch for that?
Well, I was always bumping into things, washing my hands constantly, you know what I mean? So I didn't want to get like a super nice,
Okay.
expensive watch. So I just got a cheap $20 watch that will pass, will get the job done.
Now people think they're listening to this like, man, he's so mean to his brother.
He is. But it's a two-way street.
It is.
And I'm just being nice to you because it's your podcast, you know.
No, don't be nice to me. Show your true colors.
I don't like your legs. Shout out to Bobby.
Bobby who? No, I'm kidding. You've been in LA now for 2 years, and you've made some pretty astounding progress, which I'm pretty impressed with you by. You've been able to transfer to music, immigrate to music full time. Immigrate to music is
If
the
you
word.
will, yeah.
You've been able to basically not have a regular day job and just do music full time, your passion.
Yeah.
And that's incredible. So, how does that feel now that you're getting to do your passion basically 24/7? You don't need to worry about bills for a little bit. You're making money from it. What's the double-edged sword there?
I don't know. It's a hard. There's a lot of variables involved with that. You know what I mean? Because when I moved out here, literally, the past I guess my whole life, the timing of everything happening and the sequence of events that it happened in has helped me become the person I am and do the things that I'm able to do. But I mean, thank you for the compliment. I don't feel like I've done anything super great music-wise just yet, but
I disagree.
I've been working. So I'm trying hard to. I was trying hard to transition my career, and I did so. And then the thing happened with Dad and everything.
He broke his spine.
Yeah, he broke his back, and then I had already been planning on quitting, and so that kind of just pushed the date up a little bit, and then went home for 3 months, took care of that, came back here, and then it was like sort of a reset, but it was kind of weird because I felt like I had the ball going, like I was working the other job and doing music, and then that kind of just stopped. But now I'm getting back in the routine of things. It's been like a little over a week I've been back. So I really feel grateful. And I've always wanted just the independence and the freedom to do whatever the hell I want to do. And I've always been like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's probably forced me into the certain situations that I was in life, like leaving home to go to college. Like I just needed to leave home. And I needed to go to college for this and this reason. But I wanted to make this person happy, and I wanted to make this person. And that's another thing that I have trouble with. I'm too much of a people pleaser. I need to learn how to say no, and because I got better at that.
Really? You think you're a people pleaser?
With certain people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because living with you these 2 years, you don't. Well, that's
I don't
not
like
true.
to please you.
That's not true. I remember. I see what you mean by people pleaser. Yeah, I've seen that. Never mind.
But it all goes back to not necessarily not caring at all, but choosing very specifically what you care about and not caring about anything else other than those things.
Yeah.
Because it's very easy to spread yourself out then.
Absolutely. And I think it's important to be open for change, because that's something I've noticed as growing older. I'm going to hit 31 soon. Things change. Unexpected things change. And the way you like certain things.
You look great, by the way. You don't look 31. It's weird saying that you're 31.
I know. I look pretty good.
You look like you're 25.
It's pretty good. Love it. I was walking around the USC campus.
Michael still looks younger than you. He looks 24, 23, but you look
With the
25.
gray hair.
Yeah. When he shaves, he looks a lot younger.
Oh, really?
He looks about 12.
Same. Me too.
Dude, you look like such a baby face. And the ladies love it. The guys love it. It's true. I get emails.
Who's emailing you? Who's emailing these things?
Dude, I've enjoyed living with you because something cool we do is and this is an idea that you came up with for us to do, is our war board. And I highly recommend that people make something like this, where it's a board. I know there's other variations of it, but I like calling it a war board just because it's like a battle plan of what you need to do, like your daily to-do list, your weekly goals, your monthly goals. You know what I mean? Every 6 months, what's your goals? Every year, what do you want to have accomplished by that year? And every day, you kind of check in with that and see where you're at. Or weekly, check in with it. Say, what have you done? What have you not been doing? What do you need to do better? It's just really been it really holds yourself accountable. And what's cool having you living with you and working on this war board is the fact that when I see you work, it makes me want to work harder. Yeah. And I hope vice versa.
No,
you know what I mean?
Definitely. Yeah. Well, I got that idea from Riley and Taz, you know.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about them. Riley and Taz, they are the Siege.
Yeah.
We're awesome rap group.
Yeah.
You would classify them as rap,
Hip-hop
right?
duo.
Hip-hop, okay.
Hip-hop duo, rap duo.
Yeah.
But they're really good guys, really hard workers, really talented.
Yeah.
And they had like a super cool black glass board put up in their living room. And it had like stuff for their thing and like the daily checklists and like the songs they want to work on and the other things they need to take care of.
Yeah.
Basically like a planner or a checklist, but big and in your face and let's get this done.
Right.
And I love that idea.
Yeah.
And I love that you like that idea because, you know, if you have it in your living space and you're like that type of person that's always wanting that workflow and always, you know, if every time you see it, you can't not think about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like whatever it looks like, if you see it, it's in your head, and you're like, okay.
Yeah. No, I told you. Sorry, you got to stay in the sweet spot for it. Yep.
And so it's easy to get distracted, and that just helps keep you on track.
Simple things like that, man, they keep you going.
Mm-hmm.
It's so easily to fall off, like the track towards your goals that you want, especially living in LA, because it's an easier city than, let's say, New York or London or like Chicago. Just it's kind of easy just to float here because the weather's nice. I mean, you can get by with a day job and just get by and be okay. You'll get tired from working and you'll be like, I'm tired from working. I don't want to do what I came out here to do, or I'll work on it next week, or I'll work on it tomorrow. It's just easy to make excuses out here. And so you need stuff to hold you accountable.
Yeah, and having someone that you live with that helps you hold yourself accountable, that just does wonders.
What do you say to people who have bad roommates then, who don't do that?
You know, I don't know. It's tough. With the whole roommate situations, you could click with someone really well and be super good friends with them, but you don't work with them, and so it's kind of just like, you know, you live together and that's it. Or you could have roommates that have bad influences on you. I don't know. It's tough. Everyone's so different, and the dynamics between different friend groups, and if you have more than just two people, if you have 3 or 4 people living in a house or something like that. I mean, my only experiences was in college with the roommate thing, other than, you know, living with you. And I didn't really feel like that was kind of, I felt like a stagnant time in my life. You know what I mean? So that was just something I dealt with.
Right.
Not necessarily something I thought about trying to really make great. But if you're working and if you're trying to better yourself, and if you're, you know, out in the world in a big city, then who you live with can definitely have an effect on your life and what happens in it. But if it's affecting you in a negative manner, you can also control that to a certain degree. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Michael, this is going to get personal with Michael. You live with roommates currently, right?
5 of them.
5? Jeez. Is it hopefully a good situation still?
Yeah, it's a good situation.
You lucked out.
It's cheap rent.
Yeah. And you like your roommates. That's really good.
Yeah. we actually just one of our roommates just moved out, so we're dealing with the management company right now.
Oh, yeah. Are they hard?
Well, we just switched over last year to a different management company that was
Mhm.
recruited by the owners who we dealt with just straight through them, and they had different procedures for things, so that's starting to come back and bite us in the ass.
Gotcha.
So normally it was just like, hey, send us an email of who's moving out, and that's it, and then that was it. But now it's like, well, we need the people who first moved in to sign this like addendum saying that they're being dropped off the lease.
No.
It's like, oh, yeah, we don't talk to those people anymore.
Can you forge it?
Not on this show.
Gotcha. No, yeah, you wouldn't want to do that.
No, they said that if we can't get it, we can't get it. It's fine.
Okay.
I mean, we've dealt with it for
Yeah.
you know.
What other illegal things have you done?
What other illegal things?
Hey, you want to do something fun? Stop coughing. No, could you imagine if I freaked out? Let's call Daniel.
Okay.
I wonder what he's doing right now.
It's gonna be.
He's awake.
He might be outside.
He might be outside,
Yeah.
like he's a dog or
The,
something.
the boy spends 8 hours a day outside.
He does so much working out, our brother. It's ridiculous. But he still looks like
But
he
he
just
still
got
looks
his
like-
body and he's an alien. If you've ever seen Daniel Keesh run, it looks like an alien that just got his body.
Someone said chicken with his head cut off. That's also a good one.
Oh,
You have reached
Ah.
the voicemail box of.
I'm gonna text him. Call me back ASAP. Emergency.
I see this. Some of the stuff that he's done, I want to like share so much, but the world isn't ready.
Like what? You know he shaves his legs.
I didn't know that.
I don't know if he does. I'm just.
Okay. I feel like I would have. No, he doesn't do that. He.
You know, like what bugs me about him sometimes, and it doesn't bug me, but it just kind of makes me laugh, because he's in his 20s. Sometimes he'll just drool, and I'm like, "Hey, don't do that."
Sometimes.
He's like, "Sorry."
Sometimes we'll just be sitting there, and all you hear is. Daniel,
know.
what are you? We're just sitting here, man. It's Darth Vader.
He does that. He's done that to me so many times. He's literally going.
Sometimes I think he's messing with me. But that's really.
He doesn't know he does it, poor guy. He's like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't know."
I mean, that's a thing.
He breathes, Michael, like he's a 500-pound obese person.
No, he breathes like he's a buffalo.
I can't right now. I'm dying.
It's like a big water buffalo.
Dude, whenever he comes over at our place and sleeps, and he sleeps in your bed, he has to sleep sideways because he's so
No,
tall.
he sleeps diagonally.
Yeah, diagonally.
Here's a video: buffalo breathing in the cold.
Oh, let's hear it.
Let's hear. That was just a guess. I'm sure it's.
Love to kind of catch it when it snows. I mean, the smoke's coming out of his nose.
That's why I'm filming it.
Oh no, they're just filming it breathe.
Oh,
in
gotcha.
The cold.
It's just a large animal, large hairy animal.
The dude is funny though. He is so funny. I gotta have him on here. All three of us would be great.
Yeah. He has to be one of his characters the whole time, though.
No, that would get annoying.
What is your thought? What are your thoughts on like a stand-up that has to do like with people being characters, like doing the stand, like someone does Kyle off of SNL.
Yeah, I
does
don't mind
really good. Bruce Chandler, I think is.
Yeah.
It's anti-comedy comedy.
Sorry, real quick. Bruce Chandler doing the voiceover work.
Bruce Channing or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, the duck. If you haven't seen it, it's a great.
Anyway. Yeah, I'm for it.
But
I know you have a character like that
I
you'd like to do.
I do, and I really like to try that, but I feel like it's hard to sustain something like that, like Borat,
Well, it could be a one-off. You don't want to. Is this what you want to do forever?
forever. I want to become this person. No,
Can we get a little taste of Richard? So let's talk about Richard. Can you explain Richard a little bit before you go into it?
Richard is from the Middle East somewhere. You don't know exactly where. His style is very, very bad, like European, with like zippers all up and down the jeans and very flared like button shirts, slick back hair.
Always smells like smoke and cologne.
Always smells like smoke and cologne. Always is holding a cigarette, but you never see him smoke it. He just always holding it.
Is it on?
He lights it at the beginning of the show. I thought this through. He lights it, takes maybe a little puff, and then just holds it the rest of the show.
Okay.
His full name is Richard Bin Laden.
Shut up. I didn't know that was the last name. No.
That's it.
Richard Bin Laden?
Yeah. And it's very loosely based off, like his accent is loosely based off of one of our cousins, which is very funny. Nizar. He's very cynical, but it's
He's gonna listen to this and be like, "That's not me."
It's not him. It's an exaggerated version. It's loosely based off.
Okay,
of
go ahead.
He's like, I'll tell you his funniest joke.
Okay, let's hear the funniest joke.
So do you know this company Nike? Oh my god, man, this company is so confusing. Their slogan is just do it. Just do it. Just do what?
I hate this character so much. I know you want to do it. I hate the character, not you doing it.
It's more fun just doing the voices, I think.
I think I would like to see you, if you're gonna do this at an open mic, do it at an open mic, but go all out. Walk into the place.
Oh, no, yeah. You can't like get into character before stage. No. You go in there as him and you leave as him.
I would be okay with it if you did it like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the only way you can do it.
Oh my gosh, he's so like
obnoxious, and he gets very vulgar too.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Yeah, mom and dad are listening to this,
Yeah.
so don't do it.
But he's very.
I learned that mistake from the Guys Night podcast.
Dad thought he was hilarious.
Of course. Yeah. Okay.
It's one of the very few times that I've like cursed around my dad and like doing the voice, and it be okay.
Yeah.
Like and funny. I don't think I've ever like said some of the words in that voice, like normally, because he would be very upset that I said that in front of him.
Oh my gosh.
Very old school guy, but he's also the type of guy that would curse in front of you too. But
Oh yeah.
be like, no, you can't say that. Only I'm allowed to
Dude,
say that.
My dad's gonna hate to say
So
this.
funny.
I'm not gonna get into the details, but yeah, he for sure used to curse a lot when we were younger, and we didn't understand it really. No, but then growing up, you're like, wait a minute, you shouldn't be saying that stuff.
Michael, you would enjoy this. Right before I came back to LA, I was having a little mini fight with my dad because he.
Sorry, this gets me every time.
I found my old skateboard.
Yeah.
I used to skateboard a bunch when I was a kid. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Found my old skateboard at home. Oh, cool. I'm going to take this back with me. And the way his mind works, he's like, I don't want him to take his skateboard because I'm afraid he's going to, do something stupid on it and get hurt. And I don't want him to get hurt.
Mind you, he just broke his back, so of course, like, he's being super cautious
Yeah.
about any kind of thing which will hurt you long term.
So like 2 days before, I brought the skateboard up to like my bag so I can get ready to pack the next day. The next day I'm packing, I'm like, Mom, did you move my skateboard? And every time I say this, I feel like I'm 16 again. Mom, where's my skateboard, Mom? You know what I mean? But I asked her, you know what I mean? So I asked her, I was like, where's my skateboard? Did you move it? And she looks at me and she goes, I don't know. And okay, obviously you know. Don't do this with me. Mom, where's my skateboard? I don't know where it is. Dad, have you seen my skateboard? He doesn't say anything. He's just laying on his phone, like doing this thing with his glasses down. Same.
Yeah, you want to say
Yeah. He's laying down with his glasses on. Okay, guys, somebody's not telling me anything, or nobody's telling me anything. I know that you guys aren't telling me the truth, okay? Where's my skateboard? Finally, like, my dad brings it out, and I'm like, Dad, if you don't want me to take my skateboard with me, don't hide it from me. Like, talk to me like a man. Like, tell me why you don't want me to take it. We'll talk it out. And he's like, he got super upset. He's like, don't say I was hiding it. I was not hiding it. I just wanted to put it somewhere you couldn't see it. And I look at my brother, and we bust out laughing. And after we start laughing, he kind of breaks and starts laughing because I think he realized what he just said. The most frustrating thing. And I thought for a split second, I thought I was going to say, I was like, what is hiding mean to you? What is...
Dude, I can't believe, like, if I was there, I don't think I could have continued on with the conversation.
No.
I would have been like, this is you guys. I can't.
To be honest, it was honestly the best thing that could have happened because it kind of helped things fizzle, you know?
It's amazing how just laughing sometimes
Yeah,
about
yeah,
a
yeah.
situation really helps put a perspective on it that what are we fighting about really?
Exactly.
Because what we're fighting about is really not important. There's other things that are worth fighting for. This is not it.
Yeah. Goes back to comedy being, you know, like either all a go or none of it's a go.
Yeah, I think it's
It's
really
the
important.
timing. It's
You know what? That's the thing, though. Timing.
Yeah. Timing.
I think you got to know when to make a joke about something. Again, it's different for everyone.
Yeah.
I'm not putting parameters on that. However, I found in my experiences when something tragic has happened,
Mhm.
there's an appropriate time afterwards, and it just depends on the situation and the people when you can start joking about it. What I love seeing is at funerals, you know, the eulogies or whatever, when people are talking about them, or afterwards at a dinner, people start laughing, remembering stories about what they did. And to me, that's like one of the most beautiful things because it is what it is. People die, people pass on, and it's your choice whether you're going to have this really sad perspective on it or just appreciate the good times that had happened.
Yeah. Speaking of funerals, this is funny. Something funny.
Perfect. Go ahead.
Riley and I were talking the other day of we were playing a video game at his house.
Yeah.
And it was a Call of Duty, and it was like the load screen before you start playing, and it was playing like electronic like dubstep. It was like wow, like getting ready to
Like what?
wow.
I don't get it.
Yeah,
Can
yeah.
you give me
dubstep.
like another
Go look
minute?
it up. Go look it up. But anyways, just very like not fitting for a funeral. And it's like an open casket, and you hear that music playing, and then like you hear like the beeps like for the Call of Duty thing and load in and load out, like just a funny way to. And people are like, is this Call of Duty?
I don't. There's actually a very similar bit that the fighter and the kid, Brian Callen and Brendan Schaub do, where they talk. Brendan Schaub talks with Chris D'Elia, I think, or Will Sasso about the song they're gonna play at Brian Callen's funeral,
Oh, that's funny.
and it's like a dubstep song, but it's something like it's a very dance electronic song, and Brian's like, "That's so disrespectful. That's so disrespectful."
Oh, it's awesome. Just breaks the tension.
I love it. I love it.
What song would you want?
At my funeral,
Mortal Kombat.
honestly,
That'd be a good one. That'd be fitting for you.
sorry, that just hit me. Mortal Kombat?
It's a good one.
Maybe. I kind of would like to do this. I don't know if this would be possible though. If I knew, like, when I was gonna die, I'd kind of have like a party, like a farewell party, and say goodbye to my family, everybody, in a proper way.
Yeah.
Close out all my bank accounts, finish everything I need to finish, all my wills, everything, and then go somewhere in the Nepal or Himalayan woods or mountains and kind of just be by myself.
Yeah.
Kind of like an animal, you know, like when it wants to die, it just goes into the woods like a dog or something. Because I don't want to trouble people.
Yeah, nobody's ever said that before. You're the first person to say that. And it's very honorable and very, like...
I just don't
you
want
know,
to trouble
cool.
people.
But, yeah, I get that, yeah.
Because that's such a trouble, you know, that's a whole thing. Like, dying is expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather finish off like, okay, here you go. These are my bank accounts. I'm closing everything out. I'm just taking with me like a bag and my passport, some cash to keep me alive until the day I know I'm going to die. And then that's it.
I wouldn't
Deuces.
want an open casket, that's for sure. I don't want the last time people to see me to...
Yeah, I
that.
just think it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I would like it that way.
Yeah.
Just so people feel like they could say a proper goodbye.
Yeah.
And then nobody has to deal with like, where are we going to bury him and all that stuff. I just don't want to trouble people.
That's actually a big thing that families have to go through sometimes, like paying for a casket and a funeral and like where they're gonna bury him.
Yeah.
That's troublesome. On top of the death, obviously.
Wrap me in a white cloth, put me in a wooden, like old school Wild West casket, Put me in the ground. I don't need a metal casket. No, thank you.
I would say put me in formaldehyde and save me for every Halloween, and just use me as a Halloween decoration.
That is so dark, dude. That is so dark.
That's very dark.
That is so.
Put a cowboy hat on me.
You hate it when I say this to you.
What?
Whenever I say stuff like, "Oh, we're having a good time" or something, and I go, "We're gonna be so sad at each other's funerals."
Literally, Michael, the second day I brought the cats home, right? I was gonna get one cat.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just gonna get one cat, and then we went to go see him, and the two brothers came up to us, and we talked about it, and we were like, we're gonna be gone a lot of times throughout the day. Let's get both of them so that they'll have each other. So got both of them. Second day, come home, and we see him looking at him. He's like, "Oh man, that's so sad." It's like, what? He's like, "Well, one of them's gonna die first, and then the other one's gonna be like, oh, all alone."
Yeah.
Stop.
You got to think about it.
Let them be.
All right. We got to make sure that they enjoy every day of their lives. They're happy. That way, when that time comes, hey, they enjoyed it. I think it's good to talk about it, man.
It's good to talk about. They're spry little kittens, man. Talk about it when they're 10, not when they're 1.
You got to think about it sometime.
It's crossed my mind, but I don't outwardly say it and make
Why
the
not?
whole room this low now.
Why? Why does it have to be low? Be strong about it.
He's gonna die and be alone.
Yeah, and then we got to go, you know what? That's a reality. I said it out loud. Now it doesn't hold so much weight.
What if there's a fire and they both die?
Then one of them's not going to be sad anymore, obviously.
Well, they're both not gonna feel anything.
Yeah, there you go. Are you suggesting?
This
We
had to go
both-
dark. It had to go dark.
I'm not.
That's
gonna
just
say-
how we are.
Whatever.
Living with you, whenever I went back to Tulsa and I was hanging out with my friends, I was saying some dark things that I didn't realize I was saying. They're like, "Oh my gosh, that's really horrible." It's like, "Oh, I've been with Wesam. I've been with
Yeah.
Wesam way too much."
They're weak. You got weak friends in Oklahoma. Who are they? Please don't tell me it was what's his name, who I already forgot his name, who moved to Arkansas and tried to insult me.
You never forgot his name.
What's his name?
We talked
Radley?
about Tommy.
Tommy. Thought his name
did
was
that on
Radley in
purpose,
my mind.
just so on
Son-
purpose.
Tommy, dude, can't stand that guy.
We were
Tries to
doing-
insult me, Michael. Insult me. I'm prime time. Tommy, I am rich
He's always
beyond
been
your
like this.
wildest dreams. And you dare insult me?
We talked.
I could see that.
Me and Tommy actually talked about the things that he used to do, and we talked about the prank calls that you did. And Tommy still told me the one you did to him was pretty funny, but the one you did to Natter was one of the funniest things. And I still don't know if he knows that you did this. I don't know if we ever called him back and told him. So if by chance that he does listen to this, Natter, this was Wesam. So
been a while.
I was in high school, and he was like, "Hey, let's prank call some of your friends." Okay. And so we decided to call Natter, and Natter plays soccer for high school, and he's really good goalie, and the soccer team's really good soccer team. And so he calls him up. He's like, "Hey, am I speaking with Natter Shaker?" He's like, "Yeah." Hey, I'm the one of the defensive coaches for TU's soccer team. We had some scouts come out and see you play, and we were really impressed, and we wanted to, talk about your future at 2U possibly. He's like, "Oh my gosh, yes, that's awesome. Such a good thing." He's like, Great. Let's meet up for dinner one day and talk about things. Does that sound fine with you?" And he's like, yeah, let's do it. Any day works for me. Okay, cool. You like Olive Garden? Sure, yeah, let's do Olive Garden. Cool. Wanna catch a movie after, or? And it just kind of goes quiet. He's like, okay.
It's very uncomfortable, Michael.
And
yeah.
And he goes, "All right, cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm down to see whatever movie we could hang out afterwards too. It's cool, yeah." And he's like, "Yeah, I guess." I was like, cool. I'll have my people contact you. All right, sounds good. Hung up. Never talked about it again.
Yeah. It's great. Made him feel so uncomfortable on the phone.
Horrible.
Yeah.
And then just straight up threatened, my friend Tommy. He's like, "When I'm done with you, you're gonna be eating through a straw." It's like, I don't even know you, man. What are you saying?
Yeah, it really wasn't a prank. It's
No,
more of a threat.
more of a
An
threat.
illegal threat.
Straight up.
Yeah. But I honestly don't don't like Tommy. I'll say it on air.
Mhm.
I've been to his house. I appreciate his mom for being a fan of the show.
Yeah, she's a really big fan.
Yeah, no, she's amazing, and
She's
I
great.
respect her
She's
so
a great
much.
woman. Mhm.
She is, and I feel sorry for her that she has to have a son like Tommy because Tommy's so rude to me.
Mean. I can't let you say that about him.
He's so mean to me.
No, it's a two-way street. You guys dog on each other. It's your love language.
What did he say to me? He said, what was the last thing he said?
Something about I would make a joke, but it's like reaching for low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Get it? 'Cause it's short.
And he's moving to the Ozarks in Arkansas, I
No,
think.
he's not.
Yeah, somewhere like I
I'm
don't.
making this up now.
No, he was moving to Arkansas, right?
Yeah. Well, he lives there.
He lives in Arkansas?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. He's coming back to Tulsa for a little bit too.
So he's homeless. He's homeless and he's making fun of how short I am? That's rude, man.
You know, we're gonna have a conversation with him. You guys can just talk it out.
Dude, I'd love to bring him on the phone right now.
Yeah. You should call him.
I don't have his number. Why would I have his number? He's a loser. No, Tommy, you know I'm partially kidding.
Partially.
Anyway.
Hey, you should talk to him about keto. If you're serious about getting on the keto diet.
Why should I talk to him about
Because
it?
he's on a keto diet.
He's on a diet? I'm just asking. I'm just asking if he's on a diet. I didn't know.
He looks great now. He lost a lot of weight. Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Okay. He's a horrible person. Like I don't know why. And honestly though, Michael, he was telling me how good of a team that he has here, how good of a job you guys do, and I don't know why you guys put up with it, but
Michael, how
Good
have I
job.
been towards you? No, and be completely honest. Please.
He's been great.
good. You did great with the prank against Zeke, by the way.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was like, Wesam was just being Wesam, but you know, you did.
He
good.
felt so uncomfortable, Zeke.
He did exactly what I expected him to be like super nice, be like it's okay.
Oh, what's this? What's this?
Is that what he started turning around?
He
and, like,
turned around and started looking at the picture.
He probably tried to go
He
leave.
went, it's okay, man. I'm like, don't
Yeah.
pat him on the shoulder.
That's
Oh.
funny.
Should we get Mom on the air?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
No.
Okay. I'm just kidding. We should warn them before, and then we'll call them and be like, hey,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
want to ask you a question on the radio. Is that okay?
Yeah.
But it has to be a question that we know will make her annoyed. Dude, I've told you this story about my mom. The one time, my mom has this thing. She always says to me, Wesam, you have such a short fuse. And I'm like, I do not. I do not have a short
You
fuse.
know who has a short fuse? Your husband has a short fuse.
She did this thing to me where she was like, Wesam, this was years ago, before you moved out to LA, and I was still serving at the restaurant. She goes, Wesam, when you get the chance, have William call me back. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm just driving to the restaurant, so I'll call him back after this. Okay, good, because I want to talk to him. Make sure he calls me back, okay? And I was like, okay, I promise you, as soon as I'm off the phone with you, I'm going to have him call you back. She's like, okay, good. Just please make sure he calls me. I'm like, he'll call you back. I told you he'll do it. Wesam, why are you yelling? You have such a short fuse. And I'm like, I'm not. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
It's like the hiding thing. You think you're going crazy.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh man. Great people. I love them so much.
I'm
And
so
she's
thankful for
always
them.
annoyed. She's like, I don't have that much of an accent. You make me have more of an accent than I do. And I'm like, I know. And I'm going to make it thicker and thicker as time goes on.
You saw her dab, right?
Oh yeah, it's great. Have you ever seen my mom's dad?
No.
It's glorious. She's so cute.
She's very cute. She's very funny.
She's like, she really is adorable. I like pinching her cheeks or giving her wet willies. She hates it when I do that to her. And I love doing it to her.
I loved tickling Dad when he was. I mean, it was just.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Why is Dad so ticklish?
I don't know. I think after the accident he got way more ticklish.
He
than-
did. Really sensitive.
Really sensitive.
Like
very
like we
funny.
get him on the inside. He's like a big man. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
You should FaceTime him.
Hold on. Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, nothing much. I'm in a forest in the middle of nowhere. What's up?
Told you he was outside.
It is true.
What?
Hey, guess what, brother? You're on the podcast.
Oh, shit. I'm man.
Wait, what? What?
You scared the hell out of me. Like, somebody said I just got service, so I went to check if I have any messages from, like, mom or dad.
Yeah.
And
And
I see your message. I'm like, oh, shit.
Oh, I think he's camping.
what did the message say? What did I send you?
Call me back ASAP. Emergency. Like, everything that said, hi, red flag, red flag.
Hi, I'm a red flag. Nice to meet you.
It's the Joker guy.
What's up, man? Why are you in a forest? Why are you outside? We got William won the
I'm
bet.
camping.
You're what?
I'm camping.
Are you being serious?
Yeah.
Why are you camping?
Because he's a
You know,
buffalo.
Sometimes we all just need a disconnect, and here I am on the phone.
Do you have to go poop in the woods?
Hey, no, I haven't pooped yet. It's been 2 days.
Well, good luck.
We leave tomorrow night, so it's either I'm gonna poop, maybe when I get back. I don't know.
Okay.
Daniel and poop.
Send me details. Hey, man, have a good time and be careful. Don't get any ticks. They have a big tick problem in Oklahoma right now, and they don't have a
Mine
cure for it.
sucks.
No, there's
Are
a
you
new
sure about
species.
that?
There's a new species of tick.
CDC said no cure.
What?
CDC said no cure.
It's a new species.
Okay. I'll make sure to look out for them.
All right, man. Bye. I love you. Take care.
I love you, Red. Bye.
I can't stand him. But yeah, Dad's super ticklish.
He's very
Hey,
ticklish.
what is he doing in the woods?
I think I remember he was telling me he was going to go camping this
Really?
weekend. Yeah.
Interesting.
Um,
Interesting guy. I can't see him in the woods too much. Even though he likes being outside, I don't see him as a survivalist.
no. But then he's also that guy that would like, in the same sense that a cockroach would survive a nuclear bomb. Like, you don't get how it survives, but
He's the kind of guy who would drink lake water and be totally
it'd be
fine.
totally fine. Yeah. It's like he's already had this stuff growing inside.
He has stronger parasites that actually eat the other parasites that he's drinking from the lake water.
Man.
He's an interesting guy. Please, when they come to visit in Thanksgiving, we gotta do a brother podcast.
Very bad driver.
I can't stand his driving. Such a chicken when he drives. So scared.
See, this is what we do to each other. We just
He's a bad driver. I hate
point
it.
out the faults and we. Yeah, a funny story about him and poop when we were younger.
Oh yeah.
I was like 5 or 6, and I was in the bathroom pooping myself, and he walks in the bathroom and he's holding poop in his hand. He's like, "Hey man, what do I do with this?" I was like, "Dude, get out of here! Go, don't tell mom. Like, what are you doing? Like, that's disgusting." He's like, "Oh, I can't tell mom. She's gonna get mad, man."
5 or 6? I thought this was in high school.
No. We were super young. We were very, very young. Because he had the habit of staying on the computer playing the game, even though he had to
That's
squirm
right.
and pee. And he's like, "Oh man, I just want to play the game. I don't want to go pee," you know. And then just
I remember walking by in our old house, the room, and he was just in the middle of the floor, squatting
squatting, yeah.
and playing with his toys. And then I walk past I see this, I walk past the room, I walk back, and there's a giant poop on the floor.
Talk about not caring what other people think.
Dude, I remember my mom screaming at him. This is in a high school story whenever we had our old dog, and Daniel was in the bathroom. He was about to poop. Again, I'm sorry we're telling all these poop stories about Daniel.
It's so normalized in our family now.
Yeah, so my mom's like, you have to take out the
Yeah,
dog.
yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
We were just
You
talking
just
about
drew a poop before we started talking about this. Very weird. Anyway, my mom was like, take the dog out. The dog needs to go outside. The dog needs to go outside. He's like, I'm in the bathroom. And he got so mad at my mom. He stopped pooping, took the dog out to the front yard and pooped with the dog in the front yard. Like an animal, man.
Crazy person.
Animal. My thing is, did he wipe?
Who he doesn't care.
So gross.
He didn't care.
But he's such a good-hearted guy.
He really is. I mean, we all are. I like to think so.
I don't know. I think I've lost it. I feel like I'm too much like Dennis now from All Was Sunny.
That is sociopath. I have sociopathic tendencies.
Yeah, I hated when you told me. Yeah, I really didn't like that. Whenever you said he called me sociopathic, and I was like, no. I have sociopathic tendencies. There's more layers to me.
Exactly what a sociopath would say.
I feel like that's exactly what Dennis would say.
Yeah.
I legit thought that was a Dennis quote.
No, that was what I replied
It's
to
very
William
weird
with.
how alike him and Dennis are.
I-
love that show.
It's a fetish. I fetish shit. It's, I like to be bound. I like to bind. Dude,
You haven't thought of the smell, you bitch.
love that show. I want to try to get him on the show actually.
Have you seen his new show, AP Bio?
No, I've heard
Saw
a lot
the
of
first
good things.
episode. It's
good.
good.
Okay,
It's funny.
I'll have to check it out.
It's different than Sunny, you know.
Of course, I
would
hope so.
Network.
Yeah.
My gosh. Yeah,
Um,
there's a lot of things on network you can't do on FX or vice
Other
versa.
way around,
Yeah. What are you working on right now? Any cool music coming out? Oh, that's
Yeah.
what I wanted to do. I want to talk about the Siege a little bit. You've worked with
Yeah.
the Siege a little bit, and you're continuing to work with them. How's that been going?
I haven't worked with them recently on too much stuff. They've got some other stuff. Not to give too much away on their end, but
Yeah.
Artistically speaking, they have like different routes they could take. So right now they told me that they are working on a project, either a double EP or album, whatever it may be, and they're working with their manager on how to release it and when, and they've got a lot of new songs. But you know, the stuff we were doing together was very like rock, hip hop kind of infused, which is commercially good, you know. But as far as like, you know, and I've had this conversation with them as well. Their artistic like path and vision is very important to me because I'm not like the Siege, but you know, I've worked with them. So knowing what they want to do and where they want to go is important because my job, any musician's job, I believe, essentially, to the song that they're creating or whatever piece they're creating, they're basically hired by the song, if that makes any sense. Like you
They're
do what
hired by the song.
yeah. You are working for the music.
Okay.
You're not working for yourself at that point.
Interesting.
In my belief, as far as like from the artsy fartsy side of it, you know, like if you're playing in a band, especially, this is a very good way to put it, and you have everyone doing their piece, maybe you find a lick that you like to play and you think it sounds really cool, but for the piece, it's not necessarily what it needs. It needs you to do this way simpler thing or a much more complicated thing, whatever the piece needs. You know what I mean? So when you're dealing with different artists, it's important to see, you know, where they're wanting to take it and where, you know, what they are and what their music is and their path and etc.
Absolutely.
That's why I like collaborating with people a lot. I really like collaborating because you never know where it's going to go. Could always take a turn for a really cool different place that you don't expect, and you feel a part of something much bigger. You know what I mean? You feel like you're contributing to something that's much bigger than you. And so I always like collaborating with other people. As far as like my own stuff, I've been caught in this little limbo the past week, going back over at some old stuff, like rewriting and reviewing thing. I think that's a very important thing you should do whenever you're writing your own material. Always go back and rewrite and revise and obviously, you know, there's such a thing as overkill, but, and Michael, you know, from your script, how many times did you go back and change things? Was it a very, like, run through kind of thing, or?
Like, from beginning to end,
Yeah.
on the one that we submitted, we probably redid it 4 or 5 times, probably.
There you go.
6, maybe.
See. And, like, when you're writing a script, that's a lot of stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Same for anything that you're writing. You know, it's good to have reflection. You know,
Yeah.
on things.
See, I don't get that because whenever I write something, it's perfect for the first time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Performance, it's perfect. I write a song, it's perfect. I make an album, it's perfect.
Well, improv is different. You know,
It's not.
you just improv.
I have to do the scene a few times. No,
But-
no, that's really
Yeah.
cool. I think it's really important also to work with a lot of different people, especially early on in your career, just so you can start getting a taste of what works for you, what
Yeah.
doesn't work, finding your voice, finding your perspective, seeing what other people's perspectives are, and then you can kind of like begin to feel out where you're most attracted to. You feel like it's like that for you, Michael?
Yeah. Well, I got drinks with Steve Ellison on Tuesday. Actually,
Who?
Steve Ellison.
Don't know him. Wait a minute, he owes me money.
Yeah, we were talking about like a process and everything, and like I was telling him like, you know, the feature that I wrote, I probably went from beginning to end. There's 3 or 4 drafts of that, and for each draft, it was like a lot of the main beats were still there, but you know the specifics change, and like I've combined some of the best portions of each version into this new version in the most recent version.
Yeah.
So, and
That's great.
that's kind of how it works. It's like you have to discover the story, you have to write it multiple times, and then take it all and try to combine it with like the best piece of each version.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think acting wise if that's similar.
I think it could be similar in the sense of after you do something, and this could relate to everything in your life. Like if you're laying in bed and you can't sleep, and then you think about, oh, I said this way, but I should have said it this way. This
Oh,
would've
that
been-
happened recently with a scene. I was so bummed. I was
And-
so bummed because as soon as they
Yeah.
were getting their coverage, the other people's coverage, I was like, oh, no, oh,
Yeah,
damn it.
and it is what it is. You use that time to reflect and think of how you could do it better, and think for next time what you can do better. Because thinking back and feeling bad about it isn't gonna help you. Like if you just feel bummed about it, it's not gonna help.
No.
You gotta think better about it.
Yeah, and you just have to acknowledge in the beginning practice of everything, there's going to be a lot of setbacks, some failures or whatever, and that's just part of the process.
Part of the process, part of life. You know, it's not the fact that you get knocked down.
Don't do it.
It's how you get back up.
And we're done. Banned from Adobe Radio, William Keesh.
Cliches for a reason, man.
Yeah, actually, that's true. I have a lot of cliches in my head.
Writing is rewriting.
Yeah.
Ooh. I like that.
Oh, you haven't heard that one?
No, I like
Oh,
that
yeah.
a lot.
Yeah. Writing is rewriting.
That's very interesting. How are you spending your time now differently? Well, obviously the answer is pretty obvious, but you have a bunch of more free time now because you're
Yeah.
not working in the restaurant.
Yeah.
You're not managing a restaurant, which took up a lot of time. So how do you stay on track now, knowing that you have all this extra free time? How do you fill it up?
It's
This
weird.
is more for the listeners because I kind of know.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. What do you do?
I'm the type of person, if I'm bored, I'll just go back to my room and start working on something or practicing something or playing something. If I really need like a break, I'll eat something or snack. I like to snack. Or have a coffee. Or read a little bit.
Yeah.
Or, every now and then waste some time on YouTube videos. But as far as like the most part of my day, like coming back to LA, like getting on a routine workout regimen is important. You know what I mean? I feel so much better if I'm constantly, in that routine of going out and moving around like we talked about.
Yeah.
It's good to meditate. I've been meditating every day, and that just, it feels another one of those things that makes you feel good, makes you prepared for the day.
That's good.
Practicing a lot more writing, like I've been practicing a lot more object writing. Do you know what that is?
No.
It's
You
like
know?
you pick a thing, anything, could be your back porch or a microphone or your computer or a pencil or that drink, and you just start writing about it and describing it using all 5 senses. Be as descriptive as you can, and let it take you without like sense bound, if that makes sense. Like go just go wherever it takes you. Start talking about that, and then you talk about everything associated with that, and whatever that makes you feel, and then how can you describe that to someone reading it so that they can put themselves in that scenario and feel what you're feeling and see what you're seeing and touch what you're feeling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, very interesting.
That's just supposed to be like an exercise to help you with your chops. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like scales would be to a musician, object writing would be to a lyricist.
That's very interesting.
Helps you connect things, helps you develop, new connections like that.
That's awesome.
So that's a thing that you can, honestly, I've seen improvement within the first week of doing that. Like your vernacular, the words that you're using, you can tell what words you like to use a lot and what words, you should try and steer towards. Reading, I think, is one of the best things that someone can do for themselves, whatever it may be. I mean, there are definitely some pieces like The Culture Code, this book that you're reading.
Right.
You told me a little bit about that. That's really, really intriguing and interesting to see how these successful groups operate, because there's definitely at least some things that you can take and apply to your own life.
100%.
So whenever you read a book that you can apply to your own life in a positive way, you're just bettering yourself. Even if you're reading a fiction book, whatever this is, you're reading something, you're developing scenarios in your mind, you're seeing these words put together in this manner, you're seeing this story written out, and it just, I don't know, these things, like, it causes sparks in your brain and little things to connect and gives you ideas here and there, keeping your mind sharp.
Well, like last night, because me and my co-writer met up to talk about the piece that we're going to write for the management company that Wesam put us in touch with.
Nice.
Stagecoach.
Shout out to Stagecoach Steve Smith.
Whoop whoop. And so we were watching, because they want us to do like a procedural type show, but also have it be funny. So I have a few of those types of dramas, and the first one we watched was Castle with Nathan Fillion and Stana Katic, which is every episode is a new murder that they have to solve. And then the other one that we watched was Chuck, which I don't know if you guys have seen, but I think it premiered in like 2005, about the guy, he has like a computer in his head basically, and it has all the NSA and CIA secrets.
Oh, well.
And that's how like the engine to the show is that every episode it's a new like terrorist or a new plot that they have to stop.
Interesting.
So it's like trying to figure out, and it opens up like, hey, how did they do this and how did they do this and like what did they do, and the pilot to establish some of this stuff. So
That's cool.
It helped us how we came up. We went from the feature idea, which was the two grads that faked their deaths to get out of paying their student loans, to the president and that the whistleblower idea.
So you would pull like little things from each project, each script, each thing, and it would just be kind of like a bank for you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the same for everything that you read and put into your brain. So you really have to be careful about what it is that you're consuming.
Absolutely, 100%. I think it's a very natural process that we don't realize is natural, but a lot of people aren't open to that. They actually stop that natural process from happening, whether it be insecurities or not wanting to widen their perspective or scared to try something new. A lot of that stuff blocks that growing process.
Yeah.
So, I've said this before, I read now more than ever. I want to learn now more than ever, because the more I learn and gain, dude, it's just my quality of life is just constantly improving.
I read way more out of school than I did in school.
Yeah, same.
For things that actually helped.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
And that actually made me very frustrated, knowing that fact.
Yeah. Well, William, thank you for coming on the show, man.
How long has it been?
3 hours.
No.
Hour and 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't feel like too long at all.
Yeah. Seriously, thanks for
Dude,
coming on the show.
thanks for having me. I really appreciate you asking me to come on this thing. I don't feel like I really have anything to show for it, but next time I come on, I'm going to have some great thing to show you. And
the show is not about you to come on to show about something.
Mhm.
It's for us to have a conversation. That's all it is.
I feel you.
And the show thematically is Wesam's World. And I love sharing with our listeners certain people that either live in my world,
Mm-hmm.
and how narcissistic is that? You
Well,
live in my world.
No.
Wow.
Maybe think of
Wow.
it like as a my world and your world colliding.
Yes.
So in your world, my world is coming to your world,
Exactly.
and our worlds are like this, and
Right.
sometimes they like this, and then sometimes
Right.
like that.
And sometimes it's like, oh, just take your hat and put it in your room. Why has it been on the kitchen table for like 3 days? You know?
He's a sociopath. There's
Jesus.
literally nothing in our living room. A candle on the table, and if my hat's on there for a day too long, a day,
Can't stand
24
it. Place for
Can't
everything.
have anything.
Because in my mind, it's like, you let that slide, Michael.
No.
Other things will slide.
I get that, but no.
Oh, that's weird that you get it, but you still say no.
Yeah,
you
I
crazy?
Get it. I get it.
Oh, you
because-
crazy person. I'm
because
living with a crazy
hat
person.
A hat is different from, I don't
Oh,
know,
this one
dirty
gets me.
socks.
He'll fill up a
Maybe
glass of
once-
water, and then he'll just leave it in the sink. He's like, I might want to get some more water. I
Well,
don't want to waste the
exactly.
cup.
I don't want to put it back in and then get another and then put it. I just grab it if I.
We got plenty of cups. We live in America.
This guy wants to kill the world.
Hey, we're not killing the world. We're just using cups, man. They're glass. They're hipster. They've got the jar, the mason jar glasses with the handle.
He was
Thought
the
you
one
would
with
love
that
it.
idea.
I
right?
got them literally. I was like, oh, William would love these. I remember
I was
getting them.
about it.
Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me?
Oh my gosh, these cups are amazing.
That's what you did, bro. Oh,
like, oh,
lying
that's
on
pretty cool.
air to
That's
prime
pretty cool.
time, brother.
That was pretty
To
cool.
your prime time
These
brother.
cups have handles on them. Hey, thank you again. Seriously,
Oh, I don't care anymore.
Michael.
You can go live with
Thank you.
Tommy in the streets of Arkansas for all I care.
And thank you to the viewers and listeners
I
for
apologize.
making my brother feel better than he should. Start making fun of him more.
No, seriously, it's I love just talking with you. We always have awesome
you,
conversations living
man.
with. I love you too. And if people, do you have stuff with your music out yet, or can they visit anything?
With the stuff that I've worked on, just look up The Siege. They're awesome. They're
Yeah.
great guys. Great workout music.
Right.
If you like to work
They're
out.
only on Vimeo though, right?
No.
Okay.
Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, all that. Gigging with Zeke Duhan whenever I can.
You're what with Zeke Duhan?
Gigging.
Gigging.
You know when you gig? Gig a frog.
He plays live with Zeke Duhan.
Um,
I give you such a hard time. Thanks for putting up with me.
love you, man.
I love you too. Michael, we
We're
out.
out.
It's over. This episode is done. Another one in the bag. Episode 29 with none other Michael Perino and Wesam. Keesh. It's a horrible way to pronounce my last name. Keesh. How would you spell that? Like 6 Ks? No vowel. SH. Okay, we're done, people. Thank you for listening. Love you. Thank you to Adobe Radio, Nice Guy Digital, the Almighty. And that's where we're going to end.
All right.
Michael, I'll see you on the other side. Side.